In Wuthering Waves, we're pretty used to villains having massive tragic backstories or deep, complicated philosophies that make you kind of understand where they're coming from. But going into versions 3.5 and 3.6, Muyu completely breaks that mold. And honestly, it's super refreshing. Instead of giving us another enemy with a 10-page tragic backstory or a deep philosophical debate, the writers gave us a villain with a stupidly simple goal. He just wants to live forever, and he doesn't care who he has to step on to get it. To see why Muyu works, you just have to look at how Kuro Games usually writes their bad guys. Characters like Phrolova, Fenrico, and Geshu Lin are super nuanced. Whether they're tragic masterminds or a fallen general who went way too far, they make you stop and think. But if every single bad guy is a tortured soul or a broken hero, it gets exhausting. You start getting empathy fatigue, and the emotional moments don't hit as hard. Muyu fixes that, putting his pure, selfish egoism right next to those heavy, complex characters creates a contrast that actually makes everyone else look better. On top of that, Muyu is just great for the pacing of the Mengzhou arc. A villain doesn't need to be likable or charming to hold your attention. They just need style, raw presence, and immediate danger. Muyu brings an arrogant, high-key smug style that kicks the door open and gets the plot moving right away. Plus, because he's just out for himself, there's no moral gray area slowing things down. Rover and the crew don't have to sit around feeling bad for him or trying to fix him. He's an unyielding, unreasonable obstacle that demands to be stopped, serving as a high-stakes crucible before the story drops its heavier reveals. And even if the story somehow reveals he's actually heavily tied to Frexidus, it still works. A man driven solely by his quest to attain perfection is the ultimate tool for a group like Frexidus to exploit. He doesn't need to be a mastermind. His desperation alone is enough to trigger a local crisis and roll out the red carpet for a much larger threat. But at the end of the day, a simple villain isn't automatically a bad villain. It can be a good structural tool. And Muyu demonstrates that narrative weight doesn't always require a tragic origin. Sometimes the most effective antagonist is simply a stylish, unapologetic monster, acting as the spark in the dry grass.